if you really tap into the power of your mind and you operate in fullness, wholeness, you can become whoever you want to become. And the only person that can stand in your way is you.
I saw this podcast on Regan's channel, and this podcast will really blow your mind. Sincerely, it will blow your mind. Derek Abate really killed every question on finance. It will really help you to really change your mentality. Trust me, you will thank me later.
When you speak boldly to fear, the fear does not go away, but its effect on you lessens a little bit. The desire to become better than I currently am is higher than the fear that I'm experiencing at the moment. Try being confident for a day and see how you feel mentally. Oh no, it feels good. Your current way of thinking, is it allowing you to achieve where you want to be? If it is not, remember that you are placing yourself in a mental box and you need to move. But how do you develop a powerful brain? It is not with pornography. It is not with silly addictions like gambling. It is with constantly feeding your brain with that which empowers you.
The mindset that takes you to 5K monthly is not the same that will take you to 20K.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about money.
Okay. What it takes to grow money is more than what it takes to actually make the money. Is location a limitation to many people? All you have is where you are presently. For me, the mindset is bigger than the location. And I'll tell you why.
Hi, Derek.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. Hi. Wow. First person to ask me how I'm doing before I ask.
It feels like I'm the host.
I feel, I feel. Anyways, why did you decide to come on this pod? Because I know you host a very fantastic podcast, Connected Minds, and I'm sure before you guys have seen this familiar face. I mean, you've seen him on social media every Friday, right?
Yeah.
You've seen Connected Minds. Why did you decide to come on Unscripted? Because, I mean, a young guy coming to interview you. What was the reasoning?
You know, I've seen your work since we started our podcast.
Yeah.
And one of the things that has stand out when it comes to your podcast has been the quality of the production, quality of the questions, and how detailed you are when it comes to your brand.
Right.
So I was thinking of what podcast can I go on that almost, marries Connected Minds.
Yeah.
And I could think of your podcast.
Right.
So I just told my team, you know what, reach out to Regan, let's make it happen. I actually said I wanted to come on your podcast.
When it
and
took me, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I'm sure that I think what was the conversation like before Derek decided? Because I wanted to know the thoughts behind it.
So actually, part of our plan this year when we started the year with Hayford and everybody else in the team has been to grow the Derek Abate brand this year.
Okay.
Now, we've spent a lot of time growing the Connected Minds brand, but this year what people are going to see is that my personal brand is probably going to go ahead of the podcast. And it's purely simple, right? We want people to be more interested in what the story is and the people Derek is going to be interviewing rather than the guest.
True.
Right. So that's why I said, you know what? And I also think that everything I've done for the last 10 to 15 years in business is an amazing story that people need to understand. The growth, the process, the mindset, everything I've been teaching on my social media channels is what I want to expand on today. So that's why I'm here.
I want us to talk about who Derek is, just like you said. But you mentioned something really striking right now, which is the personal brand.
Yeah.
And I think from last year, this year, that's like been like the topic on social media. Everybody's talking about personal brand. What was the mindset shift that, okay, now I need to focus on my personal brand. I've built my businesses, I've built Connected Minds. What hit you that, I think it's time to put the personal brand out there?
So I first started trying to build personal brand when I read the book, Expert Secrets.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't read that book by Russell, you need to go and read that book. Expert Secrets is, I mentioned it on my socials. It's an amazing book that actually make you understand that you're an expert, especially because there are people behind you that have not gone through the process that you have that can learn from your process. So you can teach them what you've learned. So that I tried a few years ago, to try to build a personal brand. But I don't think at the time I was at the right place mentally in terms of how business was going, because I was quite new into this business, and there was a lot more I needed to learn and then to build myself up to then be the expert that I can then teach other people. But this year I was like, you know what, I'm ready to take this to the next level. And because of that, I need to let people understand who Derek is. Now, I'm not just a podcaster, and I think that's what people have not come to the understanding that I'm a pharmacist, I'm a businessman, I've got real estate company and pharmacy businesses, both in the UK and in Ghana. And that's what people don't understand. And because I also understand the importance of coaching and mentorship, I'm a student of that. I also want people to understand how important it is to learn from the experience of myself and the things that I've been through.
Do you think you've done a bad job putting yourself out there? Because like you just said, most people don't know you're a podcaster. When we were coming, I told Michael, he's a pharmacist. And I think I saw it in one of your videos or something, or probably on social media. And I was like, most people just know Derek as a guy that hosts, Connected Minds.
Yeah.
Do you think you've done a bad job at that?
One of the most important things that anybody that is trying to build a personal brand needs to know is listening and interviewing people in your market is such a powerful way to announce yourself.
Right.
So it was a strategy all along that let's interview people who do very similar things to what I do.
Right.
Let them tell their stories. But eventually, the person that doesn't change from that seat is the host.
Yeah.
And eventually people would want to know,
who is he?
Who is this guy? And that's what we are here for. It's now, did we do a bad job? No, it was a strategy all along. I mean, I always say that having a plan is amazing, but having a strategy is better than a plan. Which is what I think we've executed beautifully with the whole Connected Minds and the Derek Abati brand.
Wow, beautiful. Now let's talk about Derek. You said some of the things you do. With the last few minutes when we were talking, you're a pharmacist, you have businesses, you host Connected Minds, which most people know you for. But for someone just that came across this video, I'm like, yeah, I've seen this guy's face before. I know he's come to talk about. But who do you think you are? Why should they continue watching this conversation for the next 1 hour?
Now, this is the reason why, if you just chanced on this video, take that time. As a matter of fact, take a pen and paper and make notes. Because this is exactly what I'm going to give you. I started my entrepreneurship journey when I was about 16 years old.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. At 16, I discovered that I was very good with music and I loved it. So what I did was I took the leadership role to create a group. Usually when people talk about this is how they started, people downplay the beginning of the process.
Okay.
And they always think that there's a better way through which you made it rather than what you're telling us. Okay. But the process is what makes the man, not the end result.
Right.
So at 16, I created a group myself, brought people onto the group, and then watched the whole, music group play out in the UK Afrobeat scene. Very quickly, I had a mentor who taught me every skill that today I use in IT.
Okay.
This man taught me how to repair computers. And I'm talking software and then hardware. At 17, I created my business out of that, where I was doing distribution of flyers into the flats. And I got my first client.
Okay.
At 18, I was already teaching a lady called Chance.
Were you in Ghana?
No, I was in the UK. A Caucasian lady, how to use WordPress. Because at the time, she had a job with BBC and she needed to know how to use WordPress to then publish her content. Now, I say all of these things because those processes is what has made me and what has given me the tools that today I'm giving to the younger generation. Of course, I did go on to become a pharmacist, but even in pharmacy school, I was thinking of how can I do pharmacy different to what I have seen it, which birthed our first online pharmacy business in the UK. Created a pharmacy that was completely hub and spoke with my business partner. And it's still surviving today. 2 years after that, we created our real estate company in the UK to buy homes, invest in properties. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to Ghana to replicate the same model we've done in the UK. We're going to do the same thing in Ghana. But that didn't just come to me. It came through a conversation with my accountant who said, you need to think back home as well. This is the birth of Connected Minds and every other thing that we are doing today.
Do you think location is a limit? The reason I'm saying that, I asked you if you were in Ghana at that time, right? And we have a lot of youth that sometimes say the location is a problem. And I mean, before we met today, I called you and we were like, we want to cover 3 things. You asked me and I was like, these 3 things is what I wanted to cover. And that was the same thing you had in mind. One was the mindset. Mindset on money, mindset on life, everything. One was the topic of business. And one was about the Ghanaian youth. Right. I mean, I'm a youth. Derek is a youth on the other end. Right. Most of them think location is a problem. You started at 16, but you were in the UK. Yeah. Do you think that was in your favor? Do you think someone that's 16 in Ghana can also go that path and become successful?
Is location a limitation to many people? This is all you have. Mm-hmm. All you have is where you are presently. Mm-hmm. For me, the mindset is bigger than the location. And I'll tell you why. The same way as if you empower an idiot, you're just empowering a bigger idiot.
Yes, you're just making him bigger, yeah.
Right? Now, if the mindset is good, wherever you place Derek, I understand that I need to take responsibility for my actions, make the right decision. And there's a quote I usually talk about, which is understanding the Noah's Ark strategy, which is something I usually talk about. That look, opportunities find you. Mm-hmm. But opportunities are also around you, mm-hmm. regardless of the location where you are. Now, the Noah's Ark strategy is very simple. Right today, podcasting is the new thing. Mm-hmm. That's the trend. If you go against the tides, you get swallowed by the ocean. But if you go with the tides, you flow with the motion. It's that simple. I mean, a lot of people complain about, location is terrible, but we have people on this land that I have interviewed on my podcast who are doing amazing. Mm-hmm. How are they doing it? Your mindset is just terrible. Do you think the young man that has become financially successful in any part of Africa is doing themselves a disservice by recognizing those opportunities and becoming who they really want to become? You are just thinking there's something else on the other side because the TVs, the YouTubes, the internet has shown you that there's something else that is good on the other side. Mm-hmm. So you can't even think of making yourself anything where you are. Mm-hmm. But if you shut your eyes and then you start thinking, okay, hold on, what do I have around me? What can I make out of what I have? The genius in you will start coming out.
Right.
And you will start finding the opportunities. Yes, maybe I was lucky enough. I was in the UK at the time. So for that reason, a lot of things were happening in my favor. But remember, in any system you are placed, you must understand how the financial system works, mm-hmm. how the business system works, and then use that system in your favor. Because there are still people in the UK, still people in the US who they are not at the level where I am today. Why? It's the same mindset. If the mind is weak, regardless of where we put you, your life is not going to be good. Mm. So it's a mindset problem.
Let's pause a minute. Every person that's been on this pod in the last 13 episodes said, now, I mean, the hosts of scripted seasons, they always talk about mindset.
Yeah.
But just realizing I never asked them a question. What is mindset? We are talking about mindset. The moment we mention mindset, everybody thinks of the mind, how strong your mind is. But what really is it? What goes into it? Because he just said something. Everything that they are complaining about is tied to how strong your mind is.
Yes.
Right? Is that all there is to it?
No. Okay. We operate from a place of information. Mm-hmm. When you were a child, mm-hmm. your parents took you through a process of your becoming. The church you went to, the mosque, the friends you had, and the conversations you were having. Mm-hmm. That has put you in a place mentally. And that's how you see the world. Mm-hmm. In fact, your interpretation of the world is how you've been given from this environment that I've spoken about. There are some people that whatever has been given to them through their environment, they choose to remain in there. And I call that a mental box. They remain there and they see things exactly as it is without questioning, thinking beyond what they are able to. Mm-hmm. So they remain in that box. Then there are people like myself who would say, okay, right, this is how my father, my mom, my environment saw how I should live my life. But actually, there's a new box, which is a new mindset, a new way of doing things that if I approach, it may be difficult in the beginning because, people get comfortable. But if I walk in that box, I don't know what I can become.
Right.
I can become great or it can shrink me. But all I know is that the current box where I am today If it's not making me happy, if it's not making me fulfilled, then I don't need to remain there.
Yeah.
So the first question usually people should ask themselves is that where you are right now, the decisions you're making, the way you are thinking, is it making you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Where is your desired reality? Where do you want to be in life? Your current way of thinking, is it allowing you to achieve where you want to be? If it is not, remember that you are placing yourself in a mental box and you need to move. That's exactly how you can change your mindset from A to B. Your way of looking at life, your way of interpreting information, your perspective about life, situations, and things that are happening around you right now. If you choose that way of doing things all the time, yet it's not serving you or making you happy, financially free, why are you still thinking the way you are? Because that's not working, clearly, but you're still doing the same things. That is a boxed mindset. And for me, to be able to break that, you must first understand how empty you are and how much of the unknown could actually be in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to walk into that place because it may be dark, right? That place, that unknown may be as dark as this place because you don't know. And you are so comfortable with where you are today.
Yeah.
But what you don't understand is that this could open a lot of opportunities for you. But you're not allowing yourself to even think the way you're supposed to be able to access that.
Yeah.
So you find people, any tweet they see, they destroy it. Any information they see, they destroy it. So instead of watching Connected Minds Unscripted by Reagan, they wouldn't because they see that as, oh, that's not entertaining enough. That is not in line with what I usually want my information to be given to me. So they block themselves from accessing what I call, their entire reality of what life really should be for them.
Yeah.
Those sort of people, they don't become great in life. If you keep thinking like that, you are boxed.
This concept of the mental box, right,
Yeah.
is a comfortable place for most people, right?
Yes.
Because at a point, they don't want to challenge themselves to go outside to think.
Yep.
Now, that brings me to the question of fear. Some people are still in that area because of fear, right? How do they navigate that? Personally, how do you even navigate fear? Because living that, like you said, how you grew up, the things you were taught and everything makes up this box. So I'm comfortable here. Everything, yes, I'm okay. I have, my finances is not that, big, but I'm okay where I am. Life is moving on. My relationship is fine. But then, like you said, there's more possibilities outside this box. They've not explored yet, but then they are scared. There's that fear of what is outside there. How?
Let me give you an example of this. So when I was moving to Ghana, one pastor called me and said, currently you go to this church, my church. And I just want to tell you that all my church members are under a certain level of protection. So you go into Ghana, that means that you're not going to be coming to the church all the time. And I can't really, that's what he was trying to say. Very quickly, you know what I said? I said, Pastor, I'm not one to be scared of such a move. That slowed down the entire conversation. When you speak truth to fear, when you speak boldly to fear, the fear does not go away, but its effect on you lessens a little bit. So there's a book that talks about this. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. It's not because Derek is fearless. No. So every single time you put me on stage, there'll be a certain level of fear. But the truth is that the desire to become better than I currently am is higher than the fear that I'm experiencing at the moment. So that becomes enough catalyst to keep me going hard. The pharmacist in me just spoke about catalyst, eh? So any young person, any entrepreneur, any individual that wants to be bigger than you are, if you see somebody or an opportunity that scares you to bits, the only thing you can do is to approach it as if you don't fear, but maintain that fear there, because essentially all fear is that you care about what is about to happen enough. That's all for you to want to do something about it.
Yeah.
So use that in a positive way. I spoke about this in the 4 Pillars to Success, the free ebook. That fear really is your ally. It's not your enemy. Okay, I'm going to Reagan's podcast. I'm a bit nervous, because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm usually on the other side. What is this guy going to ask me?
Yeah.
So there's some nerves, but I'm going to sit here and I will talk as if I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Hopefully, that gives somebody on the other side hope. That's all.
Yeah, it's the ally.
It's your ally. It's not your enemy. I hate flying. I hate flying. Every year I'm supposed to travel, I think, at least 4 times. I've brought it all the way down to 1. I hate flying, but I still fly. Even though, I'm in a flat seat, but I still have to fly. We are not in control. Yeah. And I'm somebody that usually like to be in control of most of the things that are around me. And when I'm not in that control, the adrenaline keeps pumping. But I've still got to do what I've got to do, because trying to be great and trying to impact people and trying to be financially successful is more important to me than that person standing in front of me saying that you can't become who you want to become. Damn where it's coming from. It could be mother, father, uncle, auntie, brother, sister, wife. I'm doing it because Derek Ina wants to do it. Right. And that's how you've got to approach life. Yeah.
Pause a minute. Derek, you said something. I mean, I just wanted to shift us a bit. We'll come back to this. It's just something like you mostly want to be in control.
Yeah.
When you're running your team, is it the same thing? And I'm asking this because I sometimes think it's not a good thing to be in. I mean, there are times where you feel like if you're in control is best, right? But if you're running a team, there are times you have to allow them to do certain things. And I was having a conversation with one guy after church one Sunday, and I was telling him about this. I was like, nah, he wants to be in control 100%.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good thing?
You can't be in control 100% because existence itself is not in your power.
Right.
Right. But team-wise, my team members will tell you that Derek is one person who listens a lot. If you say something and it makes sense, I'm taking it.
Right.
If it's different to what I've already done it, I'm paying attention to it. Okay. At some point, I'm about to make a decision in your favor. I always want people to be open and use that genius they have. The reason I like to be in control most of the time is because people have not come to this realization that there's a power in them that wants them to be in control of their surroundings.
Right.
So because I'm in that awareness, I like to operate like that. But if I see somebody else who is tapping in deeper and is thinking and creating and about to bring forth what they think about, I'm always open. I think that has helped me a lot. Yeah. The reason it's helped me is because, you know, when I take that control, I'm about to take responsibility for the decisions I'm about to make. There are some people, they want control, but they don't want to be responsible. I am 100% responsible for the things that I bring forth to the table. And I want everybody else within the team to be as responsible as I am. And if you can't, then let me take it back from you. Yeah.
Beautiful. You talk about the idea of knowing who you are, discovering yourself early, right? Yeah. And when you came with your team, everybody was a young person. That's a very nice thing, right? How did you go on that journey to discover who you are early? Because I think it's a very, very important thing. When we spoke to Kokua, she had the same idea of knowing your identity. And she said, most people don't know that. They just start life, right? How does one go on that journey? And you can even use yourself as an example.
So this is how I started my process of self-discovery. And it's so deeply rooted in what some people call traditional way of thinking or traditional spirituality. Okay. Let me take you on that journey. While I was at university, I was at a point struggling to get through the course. And then I spoke with my business partner now, Edward, and he gave me a book, Gifted Hands by Dr. Ben Carson. Now, while I was reading the book, I was reading it to get something out of it so that it will kickstart something in me like an engine to then make me concentrate very much on the course that I have ahead of me. Because I was struggling. You know, I'm not a genius of a student. When I read that book, I realized that Ben was able to, you know, bring forth his inner genius by going through the course and actually becoming one of the first doctors to separate conjoined twins at the Johns Hopkins University, from being a terrible student to a genius, basically. When I read that, I said, nah, that means that there's a power in me. Several days while I was thinking about that, something came through. And this is what came, is that there is everything that you need to be. The Creator has already given that to you. That ability is with you. And there isn't much you need to go to God for. Majority of the things that you need to be, to become, and to realize who you are is already been given to you. The answers are here. You just need to think well enough, ponder upon it enough, and the answers will come. That's when that thing stepped into my mind, that I have the power to be.
Right.
Then on my journey of, writing codes and developing websites, my first website, hiplivelovers.com, through CSS and HTML, you would come in a point where you realize that some comma be somewhere.
Just mess everything.
Just mess the whole thing up. And the answer was nowhere. Like today, where there's ChatGPT, you can just drop the code and it will tell you where the problem is. It wasn't like that. You have to literally go through the entire code to discover where the problem is. And I was able to fix those problems. So I just kept telling myself, wait, hold on. That means that I don't need a lot of people to come to me to solve problems for me the way I think they will. That was how I began to realize that really the God inside of man sits in the mind. And that if you really tap into the power of your mind and you operate in fullness, wholeness, and in complete awareness, you can become whoever you want to become. And the only person that can stand in your way is you. That was the beginning of Derek's self-discovery. I think if anybody believes in God the way I do and have ultimate faith in their abilities and things that they want to happen to them, and they chart that path, they can find whatever they are looking for. I think the difference between how God is dealing with majority of religious people and how he dealt with those people in the past of the Old Testament is faith. That is it. It's faith. Faith that he's giving you the ability to be and become.
Yeah.
That's it. And I think everybody has it.
What do you think is limiting people today?
Their mind. Their mind. Their mind.
So the possibilities are there.
Endless. Endless. And I'm speaking to somebody at a higher place though.
Right.
I'm not speaking to somebody who is looking at this thinking, look, I was speaking to a taxi driver. This is what happened. There was a day, 2 weeks ago, I didn't want to drive. So I took Uber Comfort. And then the driver, as soon as I sat in the car, I was playing Prophet Prakash Pine's one of his videos on the podcast. And he says that you can be poor with money and you can be poor without money. Immediately, I wasn't even talking to the guy. I was just playing on my phone. Immediately, he didn't even know that I was a podcaster. It was my conversation. He goes, this guy talking nonsense, absolute nonsense. And then while I sat there, I observed while he was driving and he was very upset that somebody is saying that
You can be poor.
it is possible to have money and still be poor. He went on and on and on. He said, what is this guy talking about? I want you to go to the dictionary and show me what poverty means. Now, this is where I'm picking this up from. I'm not speaking to those type of people. I'm speaking to the people who can reason from a deeper level.
Yeah. Who can think
That
beyond.
it is possible to become by virtue of what you have been given. Because brother, if I chop your head off, you won't question reality. But if I chop your hand off, you will still question who God is because of the power of the mind. So what sits between us and the creator is this. What sits between you and your vision, your dreams, aspiration is this. So you need a powerful brain to tap into the mind. But how do you develop a powerful brain? It is not with pornography. It is not with silly addictions like gambling.
Smoking.
Look, it is with constantly feeding your brain with that which empowers you to be. And people have done it.
Yeah.
You can too.
I want to pick your brain on something. This is my personal question, though. It's not for the audience.
Yeah.
I mean, you people will take a lot from it. Why do you think entertainment and pornography, sex conversations sell over here? Because, you know, when we were talking earlier, you mentioned something like most people, instead of them to consume connected minds or scripted with figure, you know, this conversations that will give them something valuable, they're looking for what will fulfill their, you know, their desire for that particular moment.
Dopamine, brother. Dopamine.
Exactly. That's the
Dopamine. Dopamine.
Adeng.
Dopamine. Dopamine is the reason why a lot of people will not even watch this conversation from now to the end. Dopamine.
Because it's not giving
Because
them-
this doesn't excite them. It doesn't. Why the hook is this guy telling me that I can be whoever I want to be when I'm struggling right now?
Yeah.
They don't get it. But what they don't understand is that which you are using to question it negatively. If you use that same power to question it positively, something opens up. Yo, have you ever thought about some of the products you are building? You go to bed thinking about it, you wake up with an answer. It happens. That's your genius, bro.
I shot a video before you came and I was telling them about that obsession. I go to bed with it, wake up with it.
Look, have you ever seen a video of this Chinese man? Any video of a Chinese man that can stand on one leg for minutes? One leg for minutes. Another video of this man who can do this and then punch.
Yeah.
And then create holes in metals.
Yeah. The mind.
What do you think is making him do that?
The mind.
The mind. That is your genius. That is it. Entertainment, fantastic. Scroll down the timeline. What do you see? Sex, 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 sex. Somebody talking about entertainment, somebody talking about politics. Why would you concentrate on that one? Because anytime you watch it, the way it's being created, it excites you. So this is what I say. You must operate in the balance zone. That's another framework. And essentially, the balance zone is when you dissociate from either being too excited or being too sad. You come in the middle all the time. So let's say, for example, politics. If you are deep into one political party, there's no way you will see anything good in the other side. Why?
Yeah, deep in.
Attachment, yo.
Yeah, deep in.
So the way to always look at it is always to come back in the balance zone. And I call that balance zone 7, like the pH.
Okay.
At that place, you can see on the left and you can see on the right. Almost as if you are sitting on the fence. You're not deeply rooted in there. If you don't operate at that place and you're always at the extreme end, you're always in trouble. Because when you have too much acid in the body, what happens? You get sick. If you have too much alkaline in the body, you get sick. That's just how God has created it. Don't get too deep in anything.
This topic of dopamine, people that are consuming this information, these are the same people that are trying to cause a change in their lives.
Yep.
Some of them, let me say, but they don't know this is the problem. How do we change that?
If I show this glass to you, if you never see that this glass is empty, you can never fill it.
Okay.
Anybody that is trying to make a change must look at themselves as completely empty. You must unlearn first.
Okay.
But before you unlearn, we don't question. You must completely be empty. Allow in, then you question. Because when you read it and you question it, you don't allow time for it to come in.
Yeah, so you start questioning.
We must study that which it is in front of us. Let it in. Then the questions start coming. But the problem is they will start the first 20 minutes of this conversation, then they start questioning. They don't take it in to understand what is he actually trying to talk about. But guess what? That same Uber driver, by the time he put me in front of my house, it took me 5 minutes to explain this to him. He was a repentant guy.
Right.
We must first come from a place of empty.
Yeah.
Before, you spoke with me about my team while I'm 35, and then most of them are young. Because I know what I don't have. I know what I'm incapable of.
And I know who you are.
Know who you are, and I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
So that which I'm incapable of, I don't tell you that I know how to do it. Because if you ask me right now, how do I become a genius in Forex trading? I'll tell you to go and speak to Kojo Forex, because I don't know anything about it.
Simple.
But if you ask me, how can I help you change your mindset and become financially free? Yes, I can take you on that journey.
Okay.
So recognize what you can do and what you cannot do before more can come in.
2 more questions and then we'll start talking about finance.
Hi.
When I called you last 2 days, and you mentioned something about being rebellious. Maybe your parents want to do this, they want to force you to, do this course, study here, go to this school, and you're like, no. And I think you even said something like that a few minutes ago about, regardless of what your aunties, your uncles, your mother, you can achieve what you want to achieve, right? What does it take to be rebellious? Because for someone that your mother is paying your fees, who are you?
So,
who are you to say that?
Have it in your head that one day, when everything works out, you will do what you want to do. Have it in your head. But remember, what you want to do must be positive. Okay. Because I can tell you something, that my mother is proud of me today. So if you run out of the house and you don't become great, you come back home.
You come back home. So you have to make sure you become great.
You have to make sure you become great. Like, you have to make sure you become great.
Yeah.
Now, how have I done it? So it is possible that when you want to put up a 10-bedroom luxury apartment somewhere in East Legon, maybe your mom will tell you, Reagan, that's too much. Why don't you make it 3 bedrooms? Do you know why? Because mom does not understand things from where you are.
Yeah.
She's looking at it from generational curse, I call it. From that place, that generations has made her to become. So there are some dreams when you are telling certain people around you, especially parents, they will never understand. Today, you are making money from content. Go and explain that to your mom. In my time, a baby boomer, that I want to be a content creator.
YouTuber.
There you go. Why? Because they didn't understand it like that.
Right.
They made money from how they did things. Today, you are making money from a personal brand. So really, it's about bringing people to a place of understanding, which can be very difficult. And if it's proving so hard that it's stopping you from truly realizing who you want to be, unfortunately, that's the point. You must say, Mommy, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Go and get those things done, knowing very well that you are going to be great. Come back and pick them up. They will join you later.
Oh, I did give you that advice, so it was Derek.
Yeah, I said, because I have done it several times, you know, and I'm training my children. I've got 3 boys. I'm training them
In
that same way. That, son, you can be whoever you want to be. There's no restrictions for those kids.
I was fortunate. My mother was very, very calm. She's not that controlling type. I told her I want to do this. She was like, sure. The only time she forced me to do something was when I wanted to go to UK and UST because of a girl. And she told me I should go to EG because she doesn't like traveling for long. And I love my mother so much. And I know what she was talking about. She can't sit in car for long. And I was like, no problem. I'll do that for you. And I'm glad I followed her because if I went to tech, I'll not be here. Because it was a total different course. Derek, you're very, very, very confident. I mean, I've watched some of your videos. I've seen your videos on social media. You talk with so much confidence. You don't care. Like, you're seeing what you're seeing, right?
Yeah.
Even here, we went on a short break and the guys were like, Charlie, fire.
Yeah.
Right. How did you build that? Because I feel like most people are not able to enter certain places because they don't have that confidence. They are timid.
Yeah.
Because from what you are saying, right? Even if, and that's not the case, even if you are saying rubbish, everybody will listen to you because of how you are delivering it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what you are saying. I don't know if you want to say. How did you build that?
That's the answer. From a place of knowing. That's the answer. Everything I'm giving you is trialed and tested. I've used these same methods to build our business well into the 5 millions.
Right.
Real estate and pharmacy business.
Okay.
This same method. And I use this same method to win my wife today. Confidence.
Tell us that story.
Right. You've just got to go after the things you want.
Right.
But do you know what it is? I've come to the realization that there's no truth on this planet. And I'll tell you why. Because everything I'm saying today, there'll be 2 people in the comment section.
No, disagree.
Good. People that agree and people that don't agree. So that means that there's no truth. Say what you want to say. Make sure there's enough polarity in there. The people on the left will come, the people on the right will come. There is no leader. There is no vision bearer that has not faced what I'm just telling you. People will come at you. Just do what you have to do. But remember, there must be a strong conviction. Because the people I have who are listening to my messages, their lives are changing. You must go on my Instagram and check the testimonials. Lives are changing.
Yeah.
And why should people follow you if you are not a charismatic leader? True. So if you want to be a leader, there's a way you've got to approach yourself. But unfortunately, here you have the problem, he's arrogant. Nah. You know what it is? Your problem is that positive and strong energy comes to you as arrogance because you are too timid. I keep saying these things. Yeah. And they don't want to hear it. Try being confident for a day and see how you feel mentally. Oh no, it feels good. True. Because can you imagine that there's a dream that you want to achieve and you never had the confidence to do that? And that day when you are 80 years on your sick bed, how is life going to be? Or there's that beautiful girl you wanted to tell her that you loved her, you liked her, and you never was able to do that. Say it, tell her, let her say no. At least you gave yourself a shot. try to become great and fail. It's better.
There's this quote I saw recently. Let me read that. It says, someone with half your IQ is making 10 times as you because they aren't smart enough to doubt themselves. That's one. And there's another one that there's no penalty for asking. You can apply the same thing 10 times and no one is going to get mad at you. Like you said, there's this beautiful girl you're eyeing. I'm sure that one, somebody will take that advice. The worst you can say is no.
That's it.
There's nothing that's going to go wrong. And I read this article one time, and this guy was literally going on a mission to apply to places he was going to get a no. And he was doing that because he wanted to build his confidence.
Yeah.
So he'll go to a restaurant, he doesn't have the skill, he'll apply, they'll say no problem. He goes to another place, he wants to buy, let's say, a car for this amount of money, they'll say no. He was just doing that. He was just doing that for and just changed his mindset about no. And he said something, you just need one yes. You don't need a lot of yeses.
In 2014, myself and my business partner, Edward, we went somewhere in central London with a business plan that thick. Active Pharmacy's business plan, huge. Over 250 pages, which after I wrote that, I've never read it. Took it to this man in central London, wanted, investment. They said no. Okay. So we sat back in the car. And while we were going home, the mind was working.
Yeah.
And I said, Ed, do you know anybody we can call? To describe this idea to them. Very quickly, 4 people came to mind. 4 came to mind. And guess what? They are the people that invested in our business. So look, no is beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially if you know that you are relentless. When you hear that no, there are people I approached to have them on this podcast. They said no. Later, they are in the DMs. No, listen, you just as it is.
Yeah.
Why? Because sometimes people can't tell how great you are going to be because they are not in your shoes, yo.
Yeah.
And it's okay if they say no. Just don't feel any way about it.
Yeah.
Because maybe today, I may not be qualified to be on your podcast, but let me keep working. Eventually, I'll be qualified. So if you know you're going to put in the work on yourself and you're going to bet on yourself, when they say no, keep working. Yeah.
I like that. And I've also had no's on the spot. And
oh, okay. How's it go?
I mean, I'm very okay, and I'm always glad I have a team of people like my team members. They know that Charlie, we are going for something. So regardless of what we are getting, we are still building it, and definitely we know that you'll come back. For example, like you just said, when we started, if we came to you, you probably would have said no or yes, but then we've built this to a point that you see them like, nah, this is someone I want to go to.
Yes.
It's going to be the same for all the other people that said no. So they said, no problem. I mean, the other people we can interview, we can still share their story. So
yeah. Just don't feel any way about it.
Exactly.
Don't feel any way about it. It's no blow to you. It just means that maybe the platform you're building is not ready to receive them yet.
Exactly.
Just keep building.
Because it's beautiful. You have a statement here which is very striking. You said the mindset that takes you to 5K monthly is not the same that will take you to 20K.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about money.
Okay. Our first 5,000 a month came through a lot of struggles, a lot of hard work, a lot of processes, and a lot of do it this way, do it that way. That's a different set of mindset. When you start a business, it's like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. There's a lot of work that you're doing just to even get to a break-even point.
Right.
At this point today, it's not so much it's simply about phone calls and how great my network is. That brings in enough orders. That brings in enough connections for our business. So the mindset that will give you that 5K is not going to be the same mindset. Now, if you don't understand that you need to approach things a little bit more in confidence, a little bit more in a friendly way and build relationships, sometimes the problem you may face is that you cannot break through that ceiling. You can't. So if you're trying to grow your business to a place where there's enough money coming in, where you are still comfortable and the business is still running and you're not working too much in there, you must have a different way of thinking. It may take me one plane ticket to go and meet a client somewhere and have amazing conversation, but that's enough to increase our business by 1 million a year. That's enough. It's completely different. But when you're starting, it's like, you're almost scraping to make things work. So it's that place where you need to move from here to now shifting here. Different box.
Yeah. How do you think of money? What is money to you?
Wow. What is money to me? The most important tool in your life right now. A tool that allows you to give to people, impact people positively, take care of yourself, your family, and take a piece of this world as you want to. Your position. Yeah. You know, some of the things I understand about money now, thank God I took the path I did in my teens. Because anybody that ignored conversation, especially as a young man, that's ignoring conversations about money today. Because you're in your teens or you're in your early 20s. In your 30s, you're going to realize that, you've made a mistake. Because even the women need the money. Your parents need the money. Now, if you were born by the baby boomers like I was, they need the money even more.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much for the Gen Zs, I don't know. But don't take your money conversations lightly. Anytime you hear people talking about money, having serious money conversations in a positive light, have a positive obsession to also know. Because for me, information and applying that changed everything for me. Simply by picking up a phone call and speaking to someone about how they've done things to increase their finance, changed everything for us. Don't take the conversations about money lightly. Listen, I speak to people in their 30s just like I am. And anytime I say money has become very important in our lives today, everybody says, yes, it has. So, like your audience who may be much younger, let them not take this conversation lightly.
Yeah.
And remember, don't just have one skill to make your money. I know people who were in music just like I was at the time. And they did not transition into business. And the music is no longer working. Their finances are in shambles right now because they had no other skill. If all you know is not paying you anymore, how are you going to pay yourself? And it gets tougher. You think it gets tougher? It's tough in your 30s. Wait until you get to 60 when you can't move anymore. Wait until you get to 75 because I've been at a table with 6 over 70-year-olds and I've seen how they've walked in and how they've enjoyed the conversation and how the difference is big. One person is wearing a Rolex. The other has no watch. The other one is struggling. The other one, they had to... Listen, the conversations about money gets tougher in your 70s, in your 80s, when that pension... So you have to think about it all the time. Positive obsession about money and you would have enough.
Right. Financial mistakes. The youth, what are they doing wrong? You said you had a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
In the 30s, in their 30s, sorry, about how they increase their finances, right? We'll talk about that. But what are mistakes that the youth are doing when it comes to money?
Today?
Yeah. Which ones have you seen so far?
I think a lot of the young people I've met, they are not bold enough to go after their dreams. A lot of them know what to do. They're just not doing it. And that's huge because today, you can sell anything to anybody on the internet. Anything. I mean, anything. These microphones and at different prices. The two of us can have the same shop selling this and it'll be at different prices. We'll all sell. Should we market it properly? But the young people are not going for that. They are not understanding that it's easier to make money from buying and selling than it would be starting out gambling. They're not understanding that. And that sometimes when you see those people driving all those flashy cars, throwing money somewhere, because I always say, throwing money is like, I don't really understand it. For me, it doesn't make any sense. Have you seen old money throwing money like that? I mean, is money supposed to be thrown? So, you see, some people are missing the strategies for keeping the money, the strategies for making the money. They're missing that. So every young person must understand that gambling does not guarantee wealth. It doesn't. And the easiest thing for you to do now to make money is just sell something. Create content about what you're selling on the internet. Everybody is on the internet right now. Even the people that are not, you don't need them. Focus on the people that are on the internet. If we brand this conversation enough, we can sell a lot in the description.
Right.
Build a personal brand, find some products, create content around it. And then they will say, a lot of people are in the DMs, I'm not confident enough. I don't know how to sell. I don't. Really? But you know how to scroll and double tap. It's the same skill.
Yeah. What mistakes did you make?
You know what the truth is? And the reason why I'm doing this whole podcast and giving free information?
Tell me.
I have made very little mistakes. Do you know why? Because I value information.
Okay.
So I can make phone calls and sit down with 10 older people. They're just speaking to me. I have 5 mentors in my life. 5. When I was about to get married, I had 5 mentors.
Just for marriage?
Just for marriage.
Okay.
Just for marriage. So for me, I know the power that this has and what experience does to people. So I love people with information. That's why I read. That's why I speak to people. That's why I have so many mentors. So anybody listening to this, downplaying this, you will come back and play when you're 60 years. Because I have 81-year-old people in my DMs telling me some of the things I am teaching today they didn't know. How? How? Where have you been, yo?
For 81 years.
Where you been? So mistakes I've made, I can't remember. Yeah, because anytime I think about something, I'm unsure. I go to sleep over it. And if I wake up still unsure, I'm speaking to my mentors about it. There's always a direction. There's always a strategy at some point.
And the call you had with a friend in his 30s for how to increase his finances, what was the conversation like? What was the advice? Because like you said, people can make money from doing content, from buying and selling. But we'll have people in the comments saying, like, what should I sell? How easy is it? Yeah, there are people selling things, blah, 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 blah.
Should I give you an example?
Tell me.
I had an episode with Aisha on my podcast, Connected Minds, right? And after the episode, I put my sister on a course, Aisha's course.
Okay.
And I told her, I want you to test this model to see if it works. I was there when the items arrived for her to sell. She was doing social selling on TikTok. That day, she made 1,500. One day. Her cost was about 30 cedis. Cost. Are you still asking me what you can do to make money? Like, should we carry on with the conversation? 1,500 in one day. And then very quickly, I came home, called my Baba to, do a shape up quickly. And then the guy goes, I'm really struggling to make money beyond what I'm doing now. And I asked him, on a good day, how much money can you make? He goes, sometimes I can make 800 cedis a day. And I said, are you bloody kidding me? You know what? Do this. Save 150 cedis every day. By the end of the year, you have well over 40,000. And you don't have money? How long have you been a barber for? So you see, it's the compounding, for me. That people don't understand the compounding. That if you save 150 cedis a day because you're making on a good day 800, well, on a good day, save it for 3 months. On a good day. But on a standard day, just save 150 cedis every single day and wait and watch what you're going to be left with at the end of the year. So you see, it's just, people think, the secret is bigger than what Derek is saying. Really. They think that the secret is bigger than what people are saying today. Yao, my editor, I told him, look, buy land. He goes, I don't have the money. And I said, well, how do you think people buy land in Ghana? Because sometimes people think, you need to have 1 million cedis. Then you approach the person. I said, no, start with what you have. Speak properly to the person that is selling it. That's all. Compounding. Pay a little, save a little. At the end of the year, what do we have left? People simply don't understand that Rome was not built in a day. And that if you really understand that if you want to sell one thing, save a little bit out of it. Okay? You work, save a little bit out of it, but be consistent with it. Because this is what they do. They say 5,000 cities in 6 months and they're like, Charlie, some serious, I want to go and put the money into something, but then it's gone.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Quick
So this is my strategy I gave to my barber. This is the money we spend. Yeah, I'm telling you. The first 50,000 you save, keep that as your emergency fund.
Okay.
That must grow at least 10% every year, whether you're going to add onto it or it's going to grow with bank's interest. Okay? But the best thing to do is add to it 10% every year as your emergency. Now, keep saving another 50K. Once you save another 50K, at that point, you can take 50% of that money to then start a business. What business are you then going to do? What products are you interested in? Let's say it's phone accessories, big market, or it's mattress from China, or from China Mall, or from somebody in Makola. Just get it from them. Do videos about it. Put it on the internet. You've just invested 25K. Okay? Work with that money. And now, once you hit the break-even point, we are good to go. You start making profit. A little bit of that money, 10% of that money, every single month is what you spend, not the money you're making.
Right.
That's how you grow your money.
Let me write my note too.
Charlie, write your note.
It's important. You know the thing you said about people think there's a secret somewhere.
Yeah.
When Kwame Despite was doing the museum thing, right? My mother was watching and I was going for food from her. And it was like, she hates it when Ghanaians are talking about Kwame Despite did something for his money, and Ghanaians like that thing. They see a rich man and they are trying to, find something shady about him. And I think that's what most Ghanaians do. And it's not even just Kwame Despite. They see a rich man, you start talking, they're trying to look, this guy, Derek, maybe there's something behind Connected Minds. Charlie, maybe
the ring. Make her remove the ring.
Like, they just start looking for something. And I think it's one of the things I feel like it's limiting most of this youth, because they don't really see that it's possible. They always think there's something at the back.
Okay.
You removed the ring.
I've actually removed the ring. Okay. So, do you know what it takes to grow money? What it takes to grow money is more than what it takes to actually make the money. So even if, and I'm starting at this point, even if I was favored, somebody gave me a startup, or I got it through some illegal means, do you have any idea what it means to grow that money? This is just what I want people to understand. If it's easy, why don't you go and do it and make it and grow it?
Right.
Look, Emmanuel Eboué, Arsenal, had a lot of money. He lost it. Junior Agogo was a Black Star player. Before he died, he didn't have much.
Yeah.
There are so many people that even win lottery and then they lose it all. Do you think it is easy for somebody to even be a drug dealer? Somebody.
Yeah.
And be able to multiply that money? It's not a joke. It's just people's limiting beliefs, self-limiting beliefs about how money is made. They always think there's something, like people talk a lot of nonsense about, this person is in Freemasons and that's how they're making their money. Yo, listen, take your mind off all those things and learn how to make money the way you will. Yeah. Forget about how somebody else is making their money. Because if everything I've told you today, you don't learn a thing or two out of it to change your life, and your focus is that, there's some secret somewhere that is pouring the money, your mind is already gone. You've lost the game. You're not part of it. No, you're not. Because if it's easy, why don't you go do it?
Yeah.
There was a time I was coming out of my car, and a young guy came out. There were two of them. One guy came out. He was walking on the other side, and he goes, "Where do you seek a draw? We all go do some." I just turned around. I was cool. I said, "Charlie, go do some."
All the best.
All the best.
Yeah.
Because if in your mind you can't make money selling or taking an actual job and saving from that job, and you can only make it from some secret something, go and tell that secret. I'm sure when you travel from Kumasi to Accra, you can see a lot of Malams there. What? Just walk in there. Good luck. It's a complete limiting belief.
Yeah,
you know? Complete.
It's bad.
Complete.
It's very bad.
So they will see anybody that's made money. Hey, Charlie.
Still on Twitter. This one, yeah.
Yeah,
Something.
Yeah.
But tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Derek, I have another issue. I mean, we're coming towards the end. You know, there are some of these rich men in Ghana that do interviews, you know, talk about how they started and all that, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the story they're sharing is true, but then I feel like they don't do a good job delivering it. And sometimes it's also the bloggers. What I mean by they don't do a good job delivering it, you know the story of Kwame Despite? They said it was cassette and all that. That was what he started with.
Yep.
For example, you mentioned your story when you were 16, what you were doing and all that. That is definitely not what made you rich. That was like the beginning of the journey. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So I feel like sometimes they share the story and they don't share it fully, or they don't share it in a way that makes people understand. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. You shared your story and it was clear. This is what I was doing at 16. This is what I was doing at 17. I started a pharmacy here, started a pharmacy there. So we get to see that trajectory. You get me? But then some of them do the pod and don't share the story fully. Why do you do that to us?
Okay. Should I ask you something?
Please go ahead.
So, a baby is born today, and then the parents do everything they can to get that baby to crawl. I want to ask you a question. After they crawl, do they start walking?
No. It takes some time.
It takes some time.
Right.
I want to ask you a question again. After they start walking, do they very quickly skip 50 years and automatically they go on pension?
No.
This is what many Ghanaians don't understand. Every single thing these rich people are saying is part of the process.
True.
Look, man is made from the process, not the end.
Result. Yeah.
You want me to tell you that today I'm making 5 million a year from my business? Okay. But I want to tell you that if you skip the first step in my house, you can't jump to the tent. And even if you do, you might break a leg and come all the way back to zero.
True.
What people must understand is, even if I give you the blueprint of exactly what I did to get here, there's only 1% of the population in this world that are wealthy.
Yeah.
And the Bible has said that the poor would always be among us. The way a poor man would interpret information would always be how a poor man would interpret it. That's the reason why they are poor. I never watch any of these rich people in Ghana and judge them. I never watch any. Do you watch Elon Musk and judge him?
No.
Why do you judge the next black man? Your mind is weak. Understand that whatever they are telling you, should you sit down with them long enough,
you understand.
You will learn a thing or two. Yeah. The learning is more important than putting our businesses out there.
True.
There are a few things that a lot of rich people are concerned with: the tax man and the government. So do you want Despite and every other person, Ibrahim, to come and tell you that they make 50 billion every year? People don't do that. When you make yours, put it on the screen. And good luck.
Just reminded me when I asked Kojo Forex if he's a millionaire, he was like, is it when the tax man is watching? You mentioned blueprints. Just to touch on what you said, focus on the process, not the results. Wow. You mentioned blueprints. And I mean, whilst we are wrapping up, let's just do like a little practical session. Someone watching this video, they watched the 1 hour, because I just said we've done 1 hour.
Okay.
And they say, okay, now I want to put some of these things into practice. Maybe I want to start a business. What steps should they go? Just give us like a simple blueprint they can follow.
Okay. If you want to start a business, not because you just want to make money, but because there's something else inside of you that says that you hate working for people, because that was the beginning for me.
Yeah.
And that's where your family is coming from. There's an urge that you can change their circumstances. Start with the 4 pillars to success.
Okay.
That's my book, where I spoke about 4 pillars. Now, on the pillar, I spoke about fear, confidence, limiting beliefs, and self-sabotaging behaviors.
Okay.
That would help you define who you are, find yourself. Once that is done, the next thing is adopting the mindset of accountability and responsibility. That every step you're going to take, you're going to be accountable for it. The next thing is, what are you good at? Naturally, what comes easy to you?
Okay.
For me, it's teaching. So I can do this for 10 hours. What comes easy to you? Whatever comes easy to you, define that niche down. What do you want to teach? Self-improvement. Okay. Business concepts. Okay. Real estate. Define that. In today's world, it is not possible for any business to thrive heavily without content. So whatever business you choose, create a TikTok page, Instagram page, X page, LinkedIn page, YouTube page, all of that, and create content around it. Okay, you don't want to bring your face in there. Well, there are AI systems that you can use to clone your voice, to do some voiceovers. And even if you don't want to bring your face, use the back of the camera. Or use graphics, infographics to collect data. The next thing is create an e-com website. Very easy to do. Shopify will be very easy to do. Or WooCommerce, very easy to do. And put some products on there. What products are you going to put in the market you are interested in? So I usually say people should go to Accra. A lot of the wholesalers there, they don't have online presence. Bring them online through you. So if it's books you want to sell, go and find a books seller.
Right.
Take videos of those books, add your markup to it. If you don't know how to work out a markup, go on YouTube right now and search how to do a markup. Create your content, put it on that website, and advertise it. Please, because boosting is different from the proper blueprint. So go to Facebook Blueprint, learn how to create ads properly, ad copy, lead generation, traffic ad, engagement ad, and direct people to your website. All of these things you can learn on Udemy. You can learn on YouTube. Your life can change simply because you decided to change. That's it.
Free blueprint too. You push didn't say we didn't do anything for you. Derek, you, when I called, you mentioned that you had an event coming up in August. You are very passionate about mentorship and coaching. And all.
Yeah.
Please tell me about it.
So on the 29th of August, at the British Council, I've decided that we're going to do our first event.
Okay.
And it's called Revealing the Success Code.
Okay.
It's going to be a teaching session, very similar to what we've done today. Very little storytelling, because I think that's what happens a lot of the time, storytelling. Actual
Practical.
blueprint, how you can change your life. Now, remember, knowledge is not free. If I take the time to spend my time to read 250 pages of a book and come and tell you in 1 hour, you must pay for my time. So it's going to be 250 cedis for the first 100 people.
Okay.
After that, it's going up. We've already got 50 people that have already paid. So we've got 50 tickets left. I think that event is going to be different.
Okay.
Because a lot of the time, people put people together and they just tell them their stories.
Yeah.
So every speaker I'm bringing upon is not just going to speak. They are going to teach.
Okay.
I'm also trying to give an opportunity to one business that I can invest in.
Okay.
So I would allow that business to come and do a pitch live.
Yeah.
And if I'm interested, I would invest. Remember, what is not going to make me invest in that business is not because your business is not great. It's simply because I'm going to be operating from a higher place beyond the mind, which is the guts. So you come and do everything that you want to do, but I need to understand that this person is an awesome individual. Otherwise, my money is kept in my pocket.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know you said first 100 people is 250, right?
Yeah.
But if this pod comes out and the 100 is filled, please, we want a discount for the people watching from Unscripted.
Okay. Yeah. Just because.
We'll make it
Okay.
work.
All right. I'll speak to Eddie. I'm sure he'll be willing to take this on to pay for some people.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Final 7 questions and the mystery element. I realized we didn't have a question from the previous guest, so I have a question I'll ask you on that. But final 7. This is the very first one, so you don't have to think deep into it, Derek. Don't think deep into it.
Oh, I shouldn't think deep. Okay. Surface.
What's a lesson life had to teach you the hard way?
A lesson life had to teach me the hard way. That family and friends will not support your business the way you expect them to. And that to actually make it work, you must think beyond family and friends. And if they don't do, it's okay.
What's a skill everyone should learn, but most people don't?
Speaking. Even if you're a genius, but you can't communicate your thoughts, forget it. You and the person that can't speak is the same.
Yeah. If you could time travel, but only once, where or when would you go to?
I would go to heaven and bring out my mother-in-law.
Wow.
Yeah. If I could go all
What
the
year
way
was
back,
this?
3 years ago, I bring it back.
Your wife will see this.
Yeah, it's not even because you see, it's because I mean it.
I know, yeah, but very surprising.
Yeah.
I didn't see that come.
Because I mean it.
If you weren't doing what you do now, what would you be doing?
I'd be behind the counter
Mm-hmm.
selling pills to people
Right.
on prescription.
Right. If you could send one message to the entire world, what would it be?
Start a podcast. Because I wish I had started earlier at the scale that I did. But I still create content.
If you could have dinner with your younger self, what would you say?
My younger self. And that's, don't worry too much about the future because you are destined to be great.
If you could invent one thing to make life easier, what would it be?
To make life easier
Yeah, for you.
for me
Yeah.
or for everybody else.
For you.
Oh, for my life.
Yeah.
To make life easier for me. I would duplicate myself several times.
Hey. Wow, why?
I understand me.
More of Derek. Interesting. Then my mystery question.
Yep.
You've spoken about creating content a lot, right? What advice would you give to creators?
Change the title as many times as you can. Because I've seen that work for my wife's podcast and for my podcast. Every 6 hours, if it's not working, change the title. When you find a title that works, don't change it. Stick to it. Change the thumbnail as many times as you can. Don't be in a box. If you've seen Connected Minds, I've changed a lot of things over time. And we are still changing. Remember, every thumbnail, we pay for it. So I can come to you today and say, create thumbnails for me. I'm going to pay you for it. And you're creating a lot, backlog. And I'll pay for it. Because I'm testing. I'm running experiments.
Yeah.
So change the title. And one trick that has really pushed the podcast that I think creators can learn is when you bring out the content, the short clips, test a lot of captions on the video on TikTok. If you find what works, use that as the title on YouTube. Hurrah. It works like magic.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, I won't say it again. So this is what we do, right? And I do that personally.
Yeah.
So like this conversation, you know, the short clips. Because you see, trying to define a 1 hour video in a title is hard.
Yeah.
So what we do is that we chop off a lot of the titles, a lot of the videos. And then on TikTok, we put the caption right on the video, like we usually do.
Okay.
So we test different titles that we think might work for YouTube. If it works for TikTok, it works for YouTube.
Right.
We just change it. This is basically something we do, like our secret. I've just given it to you.
Yeah.
Unscripted.
Yeah. You'll see that in season 4. Please ask a question for the next guest. And I don't know who the next guest will be.
Right. So my question for the next guest is, This is really hard. This is like, you know, usually when I ask the best advice you've ever received on a podcast, everybody's like, okay, cool. So You know, everyone has a secret. Either it's spiritual, mental, or physical. For me, it's been the power of my mind. That's the bread and butter of everything. So the one thing I usually do a lot is I do a lot of playback when I'm going to sleep. So I play back my day. I'm going to go and play back today before I fall to sleep. And if I have something that's really on my mind, I leave it to the subconscious. So I think about it a lot. And hopefully that drifts me into sleep. I wake up in the next morning with an answer because I believe the divine has. That has been my secret. What is the one thing you do that people should know?
What's your secret? Thank you.
Yeah.
Derek, thank you.